Hey guys! So there are tons of methods varying from incredibly complex to super simple to choose from when creating fluid art. In this video, I have two pours to share with you using a funnel to apply the paint onto the canvas. A funnel is an excellent tool for any fluid artist, beginner or pro, to have on hand. It's an easy way to get multiple colors on the canvas at once. Today I'm using acrylic paints mixed with Floetrol. I found a new color palette online that I wanted to test out, and these mixes are the results. I'll leave a list of the colors I mixed in the description for those of you that are curious. I have my paints mixed fairly thick. The paints mound up, then quickly disappear back into themselves when I lift them from the cup. I wanted the colors to be able to hold up rings, so I went for a thicker mix. Try out different consistencies to see what you like the best. On this first canvas, I'm using just straight Floetrol and acrylic paint. Since the color palette was based off an image of a nebula, I went with a Mars black background to start out with. You don't necessarily have to have a base on the canvas before adding your other colors. Having a base coat down allows the other paints you add to slide around more freely as you stretch them out. In this case, having a base allows me to keep more of the rings in place as I move them around. Without a base, the initial colors begin to catch on the fibers of the canvas as they try to spread out. This can cause you to lose some of the patterns that may appear. If you don't want to use a base, just make sure that your funnel holds enough paint to cover the canvas you're working with. When you add your paint to the funnel, the color you begin with will be the first color to hit the canvas. The color you end with will be the last color to hit. Here you can switch it up and throw the paint in the funnel any way you want. I edge it in on the side to keep a slight separation of the colors. You can layer them on top of each other, pour them in from different heights, add silicone to a few of the colors, mix them with a stick once you've layered them. Pretty much the sky is the limit. Once you're happy with your layering, all that's left is to let it rip. For this first one, I decided to keep the funnel pretty close to the canvas. I wasn't really going for as many cells as I normally do in my pours. This time I wanted more rings than cells. The higher you raise the funnel from the canvas, the more likely you are to get them. The force of the paint falling to the canvas causes the paints to mix on impact. As they begin to spread out, the paint weights take effect and start the cell process. Of course, adding silicone oil or other additives will help this effect along as well. So at this stage, there's also a lot to play around with. You can vary the height of release, move the funnel up and down while the paint falls, spin the canvas, move the funnel around instead of holding it in one place, release in different areas of the canvas. Again, the sky is the limit here. As I've said, the funnel is a pretty versatile tool for the fluid artist. They're pretty cheap, come in a variety of sizes, and are usually fairly easy to clean and reuse over and over. I have this kind of love-hate relationship with Minwax Pre-Stain. I use it in my cell activator recipe with most excellent results. The cells that mix produces are just gorgeous. However, trying to use the pre-stain as a silicone substitute just does not have the same effect for me. Yes, I get some cells, but no matter how much or how little I mix, they always come out tiny and not at all that impressive. Nevertheless, I keep trying it out. I mixed in 2 drops of the pre-stain into each of the colors for the second canvas. I also switched up the base color to neutral gray 5 with some gold interference powder added in. I didn't really end up leaving enough of the base showing for this to be a necessary addition, but I did it anyways. I switch up the layering order a little bit too and start with the darker colors first. On this canvas, I held the funnel up higher than the first one since I wanted to try to get more cells this time. I probably would have gone higher, but my camera was centered in the middle and blocked me from going any higher than I actually did. I also decided to spin this one a little faster than the first pour, and I really love the ripple-like effect that it gave to the rings. I had a few issues keeping the canvas on my spinner for these pours. Usually, the 10 by 20s don't give me too many problems, but these were being a little touchy. Since I threw the canvas off first spin on the first one, I went ahead and just stretched it out by hand. I decided that I was going to chance it for the second one and spin it completely. Yeah, I threw it again, but I got there eventually. I've lost count of how many things I've slung off my spinner at this point. While there are always a few colorful choice of words when it happens, I haven't had one get completely ruined in the process, so I count that as a win. You may notice what looks like pearl cells at the edges of the pours. I did not do this intentionally with the recipe. I actually can't tell you exactly what's going on in these spots at the moment. My best guess, I didn't have enough paint in the funnel to completely cover this canvas on its own. By the time the funnel paints were stretched to the edges, they were spread thin enough that the base was able to break it apart and be exposed. There are hundreds of ways that you can use a funnel to create a stunning acrylic pour. It's just such a useful tool to have on hand. I actually came up with a new experiment to test out with them while I was sitting here writing the script. Just have to figure out the logistics of it. The simple funnel is an easy way for beginners to get fantastic results without investing a lot of money into more expensive tools. Since there's so many ways to put it to use, you can create a variety of unique pour patterns with just one tool. If you want to see some pretty excellent examples of putting a funnel to use, you should check out fellow pour artist Parrot6 Pours on Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to give him a visit. He gets some impressive cell action with his spinning funnel pours. I'm pretty thrilled with how these came out. The colors went together beautifully on both bases. The 2 different methods of pouring and stretching created 2 different looks. The first pour being stretched by hand gave the rings a chance to bend in places as the paint shifted, creating a more oval, almost geode-like effect. For the second, since I spread the base before spinning, the rings were able to move more freely across the canvas and keep their shape more circular. Testing out different methods for applying the paint to the canvas is part of what makes acrylic pouring so exciting to me. It amazes me how one slight change can create such vastly different results when it comes to fluid acrylic art. With so many ways to create stunning results, what's not to love? Okay guys, I'm going to leave you to the rest of the video. I hope that I gave you a few ideas to test out for your next funnel pour. Just remember, the sky is the limit. You can experiment with a variety of things. Paint consistency, silicone or no silicone, height, movement, spinning, or all of these things at once. Go wild with it and see what you can come up with. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I can't believe that there are nearly 500 of you guys joining in with me now. I'm also coming up on my 200th video soon. I just want to say thank you for all of your support. I really appreciate you guys taking time to enjoy my art as much as I do. Thank you, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!